Alright, so we are back for another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video. And in today's video, we're going to be checking out the LR Super Saiyan Blue Goku and Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta at 55%. Because if you saw my summoning video, you saw at the very end, I did manage to sneak in one copy of these guys. I guess I got the Whis animation. I don't know, it was when like the time machine came in reverse time. So it was basically the Whis animation. I'm assuming it replaced the Whis animation for, you know, the summon period. But yeah, we got one copy of them. Took me a little bit longer than expected. I was only going to spend 300 stones on their banner. Ended up spending closer to 600, but is what it is. Still, one copy of them for 600 stones is very good. So again, in today's video, we are going to be checking them out at 55%. As you can see, I don't have any equips on them. They're relatively low link leveled. I did take them a couple times in this Dokkan event prior to like awakening them. So they are link leveled just a bit, but they're basically level 1 links, no equips, and 55%. So this is like the bare minimum of them. We do have them on their own team. We got some really good support units. We do have the new Mai as well. Actually, I got this girl at a 79%. So definitely wanted to throw her on the team. And then, of course, we've got the 55% friend Goku and Vegeta. So this is how they're going to be looking 55%. We have a very good setup for them. Like I mentioned, we got the Mai. She's a very good support unit. We have a lot of other units that link up very well with them. So we've got like the LR Gods, the Super Saiyan Blue Vegito. We've got the Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta. So a lot of good units, and the Vegeta and Trunks, actually, who link up very well with them. And actually, that's a very good rotation, having the Vegeta and Trunks and the Super Saiyan Blue Goku and Vegeta, because Vegeta and Trunks can hold down slot 1, and then the Blue Boys, I guess there's a lot of Blue Boys in the game now, but the Blue Goku and Vegeta, whatever, I'll just call them that, can absolutely hold down slot 2, and even in some situations hold down slot 1. So they're going to be very useful. That as a rotation is going to be good. There's also the LR Gods, and then the LR Super Saiyan Blue Goku and Vegeta that fuses Vegito. So there's just so much you could do with these guys. They're just very good, right? So I did forget to check their defensive stat right here, but there's a lot going on with them. I guess we can just go ahead and start going over their kit so we don't got to worry about that later. So they start off with 100% defense and guard for 4 turns at the start of turn when there's another Future Saga category ally on the team at the start of the character's attacking turn. Obviously, 4 turns of guard and then 100% defense is very good. So, pretty key with that. And then he's got 3 key and 100% attack and defense just for free. So, 3 key on an LR. Very good. It just makes it closer to, you know, them getting the 18 key super attack. And then he also gets an additional 2 key per type key sphere obtained. That is very useful. Not only is he giving himself 3 key start of turn, but then he's getting 2 key per key sphere obtained just for free. Very, very good. So, key is never going to be an issue with this guy. And that actually is very important because this guy does have some key restrictions in his kit, which we'll talk about here in a second. So then he also gets an additional 50% attack and defense, and then attacks effective against all types when there's a Realm of Gods category enemy. I mean, I guess that's good, right? I mean, there's a good amount of Realm of God category enemies, like, in difficult events. Of course, we've got some of the Dismal Future Red Zone stages. We've got, I don't know, I guess the God event. That's all Realm of God category enemies. There's some Infinite History stages. So you're definitely going to be able to make use out of that, but I don't know. Not every event is going to have a Realm of Gods category enemy, so just keep that in mind. And then he also gets 150% defense and then a high chance to dodge as the first attacker in a turn. So I'm not saying this guy's a slot 1 option, but he is a little bit better in slot 1, I think, because that 50% chance to dodge is very, very good. As long as you're dodging the attacks before you actually do your super, you're going to be looking really impressive, because with him stacking defense and then having the built-in additionals, you know, it makes it to where you do the 18 key, you get the stack with that, and then you get all the additionals that obviously stack his attack. So defensively, he can look good as long as you prioritize getting the 18 key with him, which is going to be very easy because obviously key is not an issue with him. So then all the additionals is going to make his damage get like much higher because obviously he's stacking attack. So having all those additionals built in is very good. And then just throwing him in slot 1, so then he's got all that defense because he's going to have a lot of it. He's stacking defense. And then also he's got the 50% chance to dodge. He's going to be looking pretty crazy. And then he's got the guard for the first 4 turns. So, you know, they give him time to stack up, which is really good. With these build-up and stacking characters, I think that's something they really have to start adding to them, is giving them guard, damage reduction, dodge, or some sort of defensive capability for the first couple turns so they can build up or stack up. So definitely very, very good design with that. He also gets 100% attack and then 50% defense as the second or third attacker in a turn. And then he also gets a high chance of launching an additional super. Sorry, I forgot about that. So, I mean, he could still be good in slot 2 or 3 because then you get the other additional, which additionals are good because, as we established, he is stacking. And then you get the little bit of extra attack and defense. But I still think throwing him in slot 1 so then you get the 150% defense and then also the high chance to dodge is a little bit more important. So if you've got type advantage, this guy will definitely be good in slot 1. And, you know, if not, you just got to pray he dodges. What do you want me to say? It's an RNG-based game. So then this guy also gets a guaranteed additional super when key is 20 or more. So that's why I was saying him getting the 2 key per type key sphere obtained and then the 3 key start of turn is very good because of that. I mean, the guaranteed additional with him stacking and then other additionals built into his kit. He's just going to be doing a lot of supers and he's going to be looking really impressive. So definitely very good in his pre-fuse state. I think you can get caught. Like I mentioned, if you throw him in slot 1 and you don't dodge and you get supered first thing, yeah, you're probably going to die, right? I mean, it's pretty simple. You're probably just going to get obliterated. And maybe some normals will do damage to you as well. But if you have the guard, you should be able to tank normals. But when that wears off, maybe you could run into issues. But then also, you'll have stacked up by then. So his defense will look a lot more impressive. So he's a good unit all around. I just think there still is some areas where you could get caught. But it's like that with most units. So that's nothing really new. And then obviously he does have the fusion. So there is a little controversy around the fusion. Nobody really likes the condition behind it. I kind of do have to agree there. So basically you have to be above, or no, you have to be below 70% HP starting from the 5th turn from start of battle, or when there's another Future Saga category ally attacking in the same turn, or a Future Saga category enemy starting from the 7th turn. So that's not great. I don't know. That's not horrible though, because then turn 7, you know, you'll have stacked up a bit. Obviously the stacks are carrying over into the fuse state. But still, like I said, this guy can still get caught. So you do want to transform as soon as possible, or fuse, I guess, as soon as possible. Because then when you go into Vegito, yeah, he's good. He's very good, right? So he starts off with 5 key, 250% attack and defense. So 250% attack and defense is very, very good. Because obviously he's a Dokkan Fest LR, so he's got Dokkan Fest LR stats. And then he also gets attacks effective against all types just for free. He gets 30% damage reduction before attacking. And then he also gets 20% damage reduction just for free. So then before you do your super, you have 50% damage reduction. And then he has a high chance to dodge and launches an additional attack that has a high chance of becoming a super as the first attacker in a turn. So basically, he's just like the Super Saiyan Blue Goku and Vegeta in slot 1, but he's going to have a little bit higher stats, and he's got 50% damage reduction. So he just solves all of their issues right there. So very, very good with that. And then he also launches an additional super and then has a medium chance of launching another additional super attack as the 2nd or 3rd attacker in a turn. So just built-in additionals, very good, because this guy's super attack is that he gets 50% attack and defense on 18 and 12 key. So then all the additional supers are going to massively ramp up his stats. So very good with all the built-in additionals. And then he also launches an additional super when activating the active skill or when key is 20 or more. So getting key with him is going to be very easy, very similar to the pre-fuse state of this unit, because he's getting 2 key per type key sphere obtained, and then instead of getting 3 key start of turn, he gets 5. So again, key is never really going to be an issue with him. Anyway, we're sitting here at 250k defense with the Super Saiyan Blue Goku and Vegeta. Yeah, that's very good. Actually, we could pop this active skill, see their defense go up a little. So with the defensive buff from the Vegeta and Trunks, what's our defensive stat looking like? 300k. All right. I mean, turn 6, is that really crazy? No. But you got to keep in mind, you know, I don't really know if we've been stacking a lot. Honestly, I haven't even been paying attention. I've just been reading the Dokkan wiki off of the Vegito's like details and stuff. But, you know, he's still going to look good in Dokkan events. Obviously, he's going to be amazing. Infinite History is going to be great. Super Battle Road is going to be great because he has the guard for the first couple turns. In long difficult events, he's still going to be very good because he's stacking. And then, you know, if you get the fusion off, you win. I mean, that's just basically how it is. Because then the fusion also has an active skill. So it's the exact same condition as the 7th year anniversary LRs. So that can kind of put it in perspective how often you're going to get this. Basically, it can be activated when HP is 50% or less, or when facing one enemy whose HP is 50% or less. So extremely easy to get off. And then when you get the active skill, because, you know, all the other mechanics in his kit wasn't enough, this guy gets guaranteed guard, and then he's doing a lot of damage because it causes ultimate damage, and then obviously has all the, you know, buffs for an active skill. But yeah, he's getting guaranteed dodge for that turn when he pops the active skill. So you could throw him in slot 1, and then he's just going to be busting, right? So much with this guy's kit. he's going to be looking crazy. He's a very good unit. He's also kind of a support unit on his 18 key super attack because he's raising superclass allies defense by 50%. So he's basically greatly raising the defense of everyone on the rotation. And because this guy is so good in slot 1, most of the time you're going to have him, obviously, in slot 1. And then you're giving that whole rotation the 50% defensive buff. So that's what I'm saying. This Vegito's design is very, very good. You could tell they put a lot of thought into it. Now, unfortunately, the Super Saiyan Blue Goku and Vegeta's design is also good, but not as good. So that's where you can kind of run into some difficulties with this guy. That's why you've probably heard some people talk about them not necessarily being as good as they want, is because the Super Saiyan Blue Goku and Vegeta aren't the craziest for the first couple turns. I mean, again, they've got the guard, so they can be good defensively, like in slot 2 or 3, but you can still get caught with them. And then also, because the transformation condition kind of sucks, then transforming can be difficult. And then you're got to be stuck in the Super Saiyan Blue Goku and Vegeta state for a little longer. And like we just mentioned, you can get caught there. So it kind of brings some trouble with that. But still a very good unit all around. I guess we can just go ahead and bring him in the Goku Black Red Zone stage. I don't know. We'll see, right? We'll see. All right, so unfortunately, my run for the Red Zone Goku Black stage, the audio did get corrupted. So we got to do some post-commentary here. But I did manage to win. Actually, we managed to get through this fight with, I don't want to say ease. I mean, we still used both items, but we still managed to do it. We had a couple failed attempts, which I do think are showing right here with the Mai. So the Mai just took way too much damage. You would think she would be fine because of her damage reduction, but surprisingly, no. She took like, I think, over 1 million from a super. Now, she didn't get any additional supers, which is kind of difficult with her because she does get defense on super. So she gets the 30% attack and defense on her super attack effect. And also, she has this other mechanic in her passive, which I think is unique to her. I don't think any other units have this. Basically, if you get 2 supers, you get an additional 50% defense and then 30% damage reduction. So yeah, you can see right there, she took over 1 million from that super. I mean, look, I'm not knocking Mai. She's a good support, but I got her 79% right here. She's under a very, very good team, and she still took that much. I mean, granted, she was missing stuff like, you know, obviously Brainiacs, Cold Judgment, Battlefield Diva, Dismal Future. Or no, she had Dismal Future, I think. But like the other links she didn't have. Obviously, Cold Judgment and Brainiacs is a lot of attack and defense between those two links. But I don't know, man. Still, like, we got our super off and we still took over 1 million? Seems like kind of a lot. But keep in mind, we did take that much damage without the extra 30% damage reduction we get from performing 2 supers and the 50% defense. So we only had 20% damage reduction right there, which I don't need to tell you, the difference between 20% damage reduction and 30% is very big. So she might have actually been able to survive the super if we got the additional, which it just shows my luck because, like I said, I've got her 79%. She's got 15 additional. So she had the 30% chance to do the additional from her passive and then from her actual hidden potential system. And then as you can see right here on the next run, we got supered with her yet again. So I decided to switch up the team just a little bit. I think I brought... who did I bring? I kind of forget. We'll see here in a second. But I know this run right here, I did win. So after this run, we did manage to obviously complete it. I still did use the items, but, you know, worked out in the end. Oh yeah, I brought GT Duo. So GT Duo are good in here, but you have to make sure you get the damage reduction with them. Now, doing the supers with them and all that is very important. Like, getting the additional supers with them is important because obviously they're stacking attack and they get some extra defense from their additional supers. So you can run them in here, but definitely run them in slot 2. Like, I think that's why this fight is so difficult, is that you have to have a slot 1 option. Like, when I say slot 1 option, I mean a unit that is literally made for slot 1. You have to have them on both rotations. So someone like Vegeta and Trunks could be good in here, but it does take him a minute to build up in his passive, and it does take him a minute to stack up, you know, with the super attack effects because he's stacking. So then for these first couple turns, you're going to see him take like 500k from a super. You're going to see him take like 100k from a normal. So it can be tricky with him, but then as long as you build up with him, as long as you stack up with him, they've been established in slot 1. You have these good slot 2 options, and then you could just throw them in there, and they should be fine. Now, I guess the gods were pretty good in here as well. They do have type disadvantage during the final phase, so you really want to be careful with them. You want to talk about making sure they perform a super. You need to. Like, if you don't stack with them, even if you transform with them, and you do your supers, whatever, you're still going to die in the final phase. Because when I say that final phase hits hard, I'm not exaggerating. Like, even one normal, easily 600k from the LR gods, even when you transform. But if you stack with them a lot, you might be able to survive some normals. I'm not too sure about a super attack, but they do have the dodge built in, so you always can rely on that. And, speaking of dodge, dodge came in clutch so much with this fight. We got the 5th year anniversary Vegito in here. I probably could have brought the Gogeta in his place, but I thought Vegito would be a little bit better because I do have him built with some crit, and he can do more additional supers than Gogeta. So then possibly if, we got lucky with some of the crits in his hidden potential system that I have, built with him, then of course all the supers will crit. He can do up to like, 6-7 supers, and then his damage is going to be insane. Because that's what I was going for in this fight. More of like a offensive capability team instead of defense. I wanted to make sure the defense was good. I mean, because you need good defense in here. He's doing 1.7 million on his super attack, so you need good defense. But I was kind of pushing a little bit more in the offensive direction, so then we could just blitz through this. Because like I mentioned, I did use both of my Whis. As you can see, I just brought this, support memory. So, with both of those things, our defense was kind of covered a little. So then putting a little bit more offense in place of the items and support memory with the defense kind of balanced it out and made it to where we won, I guess. So worked out in the end. Overall, 55%, he's very impressive. He is going to have some issues. Like I mentioned earlier, he can get caught, but all units can get caught. It's an RNG-based game. But then when you fuse into Vegito, me personally, just from this run, he's the best unit in the game, right? Like, he's very fun, and I don't think there's any event where he's not going to absolutely crush it. So I guess that has been the video. Not really much else to talk about. I'll let this play. We got the 2x speed, so, I mean, you could see it for the rest of the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know how your guys' summons went, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.